Two of the first fighting games were Karate Champ and Yi Ar Kung Fu. While Karate Champ was a slow-paced one-on-one fighting game with identical opponents, Yi Ar Kung Fu let the player fight against a variety of characters with a unique appearance and fighting style. In addition to this, Yi Ar Kung Fu had better looking fighting arenas and the music changed based on your health percentage, making it more exciting. Having played both games, I noticed that Karate Champ focused more on fighting technique, while Yi Ar Kung Fu was more a button hammering game and actually way more fun to play. Another early fighting game is Shanghai Kid from 1985, which featured a blocking system, 2-button special move, and something that resembled a combo system but was called a rush. In the same year as Shanghai Kid, a new game appeared, which was called Galactic Warriors. Now, Galactic Warriors was the first game to let the player choose between different characters with different fighting techniques and styles. Now, it sounds as if the player had a lot of choice. However, there were only 3 characters and they only had one special move. The rest of their moves were identical to each other. As you can see here, the special move in this case is the extendable arm. But honestly, you know, this game, although it featured a new item in fighting games, the special move, it kinda was a sucky game. Capcom took a close look at the already existing fighting games and combined several elements which led them to release Street Fighter. Street Fighter pretty much had everything the older games had. However, it had some very important new things in it. I mean, the game looked amazing compared to the other games that were already out there. As well as special moves were introduced in Street Fighter, which the player could find out by just hammering down on the buttons. And here you see the reason why many of us play fighting games. You know, to whoop your friend's ass. Big time. Just like in Yi Ar Kung Fu and Galactic Warriors, Street Fighter of course had several different components. And then something happened that changed fighting games forever. At least, that's what everyone says. But why was Street Fighter 2 so revolutionary? 4 basic reasons. First, identifiable characters. Second, a large number of choices of characters. And third, all the characters had their own special moves. And finally, Street Fighter 2 featured way more buttons than any fighting game before. So it didn't only look good, but the game had so many layers because of all the different characters which all had special and unique moves, which had to be executed with that large number of buttons. As we all know, every action has its reaction. So did Street Fighter 2. Mortal Kombat appeared. While Street Fighter was using more stylish cartoony figures, Mortal Kombat used digitized images of fighters and introduced blood to the game. Another important innovation were the fatality finishing moves that Mortal Kombat featured. The American audience seemed to appreciate this new way of fighting, this bloody, dirty, gory style of gameplay. The sequel to Mortal Kombat 1 didn't bring anything new to the table, really. It looked slightly better, it had more characters, maybe was a bit more bloody, but it wasn't really new. And it actually took a while before anyone came up with a new idea. Your favorite comic book heroes against the Street Fighter game? Capcom made it possible.
Marvel vs. Capcom!
It was fast, it was fun, it was full of action. It was amazing. But back in Japan, they were doing something entirely different. Released in '93, Virtua Fighter was the first fighting game to introduce three-dimensional gaming. Due to the added third dimension, realism was higher, different camera angles were possible, as well as a ring out, and Virtua Fighter introduced a replay. However, the fighting moves themselves were not very complex or complicated in Virtua Fighter, and it wasn't until Namco's Tekken that 3D fighting games struck gold. Why the Tekken series was so great? Well, Tekken had great graphics, great motion capture, and the gameplay was awesome. But personally, I think it were the controls. X and circle for left and right leg, square and triangle for left and right kick. This made the button combinations more understandable and pulling off combos more natural. And on that bombshell we end this video. And remember, Tekken is the best fighting game in the world.